Justin Chamness here, and I got another question. And right here it says, I brought you to the gym with me, by the way, today. And here we are, getting a little inspiration, getting a little motivation, getting a little blood moving, getting a little, getting things going. And anyway, here's the question. And it says, hey, Justin, thank you for the last video that you put out. Hey, I appreciate you watching, by the way. I have been struggling for some time, or rather, I feel like you say I have been stuck in YouTube University, watching video after video, and I feel like I know a whole bunch about real estate wholesaling and lease options, but I don't know why I seem to be struggling with this motivation factor. Is there any advice you can give me on pinpointing my motivation and my motivation level to get things done in this business? Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. And, we could spend all day talking about motivation, guys. We could talk about motivation until the cows come home. And I think that's the problem with it, is we could definitely talk about, it reminds me of a story from my childhood. And I don't know if anybody else ever played the game Kick the Can, but when you play the game Kick the Can, all you need is a can. You don't need a lot. You don't have to be a rich kid. You just get a can. And if there's a group of you kids and you want to play, what we would do is somebody would be it, and they would throw the can down in the middle of the street or the alley, and they would close their eyes and count to 30. While they were counting, all the rest of us just ran and we hid. And when he was done counting to 30, he would open his eyes and he would start to look, and you would try to hide. But if he saw you, it was a race. Okay. It was a race back to the can, and whoever could kick the can first, of course, that was the objective. So if the person that was it kicked the can, then you had to go sit in jail, which is usually the curb. And so I remember playing that game. It's kind of a silly game, but I remember that it was always fun. But when there was a lot of people in jail, when the person that was it had beat everybody back to the can and kicked it, then and then that other person went to sit on the curb. They were in jail. I remember when there's a few times when everybody was in jail except for me. It was just me. So, it was up to me. That to me was a funner scenario than when nobody was in jail, because then if I could beat the guy that was it back to the can and kick it, then I would set everybody in jail free. Guys, it's a better feeling to do it for somebody else than it is to do it for yourself. The problem is, when you do it for yourself, when you haven't created a big enough motivation, reason, as soon as you get comfortable, what happens? All right, I quit, right? Or I lay back, put it in cruise control, right? If it's about you, that's just not enough. And you can say, well, then it needs to be about the money. Guys, if it's about the money, it's not really enough. Okay? And that's because it's not an inner game. And it really is supposed to be an inner game. All right? It is an inner game. Let me ask you a couple questions. You want to know about your motivation level and your motivation factor, how to pinpoint it, how to increase it so that you stay motivated to create good habits. Okay, well, you do have habits. You have habits that are bad habits. You have habits that are habits of not having good habits. All right? So everything in your life is programmed, ritualistic, all that stuff. How do you pinpoint it and create that life? Great question. How do you create this real estate business? How do you stay motivated? Great question. Let me ask you a couple questions. If I was to ask you, close your eyes and picture the real estate business that you're wanting. Can you picture it? Can you? Can you feel it in your mind? Can you see it in your mind? Can you hear that in your mind? Can you see what that would smell like in your mind? Can you taste it? If you don't know what that looks like, and I bet that's where a lot of folks fall, because I've been there many times. You close your eyes to picture that future, that goal, that life you want to create, and it's hard to picture because you got this thought, that thought, this thought, that thought. You don't have the first clue what that life looks like, smells like, tastes like, feels like, sounds like. That's problem number one. You got to figure out a way to get a clear picture up here of what that life looks like. And then, second question that I have for you is, your life right now without the real estate business that you want, your life right now without the first deal, your life right now without all those things that you would think about when you consider the word success, your life right now, is that something you hate? Is it? Don't bullshit me. Don't bullshit me. Is it something you hate? Do you hate it? Do you hate it? My guess is you probably don't. You know, people only want to do things for one of two reasons. They either want to get into something or they want to get out of something. Which is it for you? Are you trying to get into something? If you're trying to get into something, you better have a clear picture. What does that look like? What does that hear? What does that sound like? What does that smell like? What does that taste like? What does that touch like? If you want to get out of something, a life that sucks, a job that sucks, you better hate it. If you want to break out of it, you better hate it. It'll be like one of them old girlfriends. You better watch them. Dangerous. If you don't hate it and break it off, it'll drag you down. Hey guys, I got a free gift for you. I want to help you out. Go visit www.realestatewholesalersclub.com. There's some free training there for you to get you started. Guys, mastering the phone to get deals is the best freaking course I have ever done or maybe ever will do. It's amazing. I've got it right now packaged with one-on-one coaching with me. Guys, unbelievable. You want to start getting deals? Get the free stuff over there at realestatewholesalersclub.com. Check out that mastering the phone to get deals. I love it. Saturday, I'm thinking about doing I Call Your Seller Leads. I'm thinking about it. You guys want me to call your leads? Show you how it's done? I love you guys. I love you very much. And I believe in you. And I know you can do this. You know, you have a lot of doubts and a lot of fears, a lot of apprehensions in your mind. Oh, that's normal. And I want you to forgive yourself for that stuff. And then I want you to move on. Okay? You know, that's big. That's big. Forgive yourself for wallowing around and complicating things and for stretching things out and for bullshitting and lying to yourself and other people when you know that you either want to get into something or you want to get out of something. And it's time, isn't it? Isn't it time? Isn't it time? It is time, guys.